So another long-term mouse review. This one not as long as the Viper Ultimate or the Glorious 100, but still a good amount of time on hand and experience of around 5 months. Talking about the Razer Orochi V2. And ignore that mouse right there. It's very visible. I could see on camera of how dirty it is. Sorry about that. Just ignore it. But anyways, I'm going to try and make this very quick because my videos seem to be pretty long for the amount of information I put out. So to get started, this is the Razer Orochi V2, obviously. $70 retail, which is a pretty good price in my opinion. A lot of people have been comparing it to, I believe, the G305 from Logitech, which is around $40. However, this mouse has been going on sale like crazy, going down to like $58, I believe, right now. As of recording, which is July 11th, it is $50, which is actually pretty good. The lowest this has ever been was $28 brand new, which is an absolute steal. Aside from pricing, to get into how this mouse feels and if I've had any problems with it over the 5 months, there's actually not too many problems, aside from like one major problem. So before we move on to that one problem, some things I do want to get out of the way that I think are really great. So immediately, first thing, an issue I had with the Razer Viper Ultimate was the scroll wheel being too low. On camera there, it looks pretty low. I'm sorry about it being blurred. I have it set to manual, but it looks pretty low, but it's actually a substantially higher than the Viper. Also, the texture that they used, again, sorry, I can't really show that, but the texture is a lot different than the Viper here, because this is more of a ribbed texture and it's a lot flatter. Here it is the same design, I'm looking at it, but this is just a lot more pronounced, I guess, and it's not as flat, so you can really feel the texture and grips to your finger. So I do like that a lot more than the Viper Ultimate, so that was a great plus. Another thing, a issue I had with the Viper Ultimate was the mouse feet, the stock mouse feet. I have new ones on here, I always get new ones, but the stock mouse feet on these, a lot better than the Viper Ultimate. The Viper Ultimate had super scratchy mouse feet and took, I believe I said 4 months for them to like fully break in. I think I said 3 in my review. 3 months for them to break in, and they're still kind of scratchy. These were scratchy for like 3 days, and then after that, pretty smooth. I swapped them out though for Tiger Ice skates, which I use for all my mice. So one thing I do want to note before moving on to like the main problem and concerns, this mouse, it has a timer for sleeping. So if you just leave the mouse like that, after I believe 2 minutes, it automatically goes to sleep to save battery, which is fine. But it's the fact that you cannot turn off that feature in Razer Synapse. So obviously it's to save battery, but it's kind of annoying that it falls asleep and you have to move your mouse around to wake it up again. Obviously it's not going to be like a deal breaker where you're in game and you're just holding an angle and it's just going to fall asleep. That's not going to be a problem, obviously, but it's just something I wish you could turn off. However, I will say, so the default DPI is 800, I believe. I play at 400, so when it goes to sleep and then you try and wake it up again, it automatically goes back to 800 DPI and then reconnects to Razer Synapse and then realizes what DPI you were set at and then changes back. So it would go from green, which is a default 800, down to red. However, it is almost instant, and there's just like very brief period where you feel that 800 DPI. But like I said, is almost very instant versus this mouse here, the Logitech G Pro Superlight. It has the same feature of going to sleep and then you shake it around and it wakes up. However, again, same thing like this where it defaults to, I believe this one is 1200 and then goes down to whatever DPI you have set. However, there is a good delay of it trying to switch back to whatever DPI you're at. So I play at 400. So this will stay at that 1200 for roughly 2 seconds and then change back. And 2 seconds isn't super long, but it's just very annoying that it does that. And considering the fact that Razer has it reset almost instantly versus a 2-second delay, it kind of dumb, especially considering this mouse is $150, not including tax or anything like that or shipping, versus a mouse that you could buy at $28. So, or even just retail $70. Like, that problem should be fixed on that Superlight, but just something to note. So moving on quickly, the side buttons still very crisp, very nice. Same with the clicks. However, they have gotten a little, not a crazy amount. They have gotten a little more mushy. They're not as super crisp and clean as they once were. But again, it's not like super noticeable. I could definitely hear it though, versus the first time, and that is because of the nature of the shell design that they have, which is this. Over a period of time, it will wear down, especially this part here. Again, I kind of wish I was able to zoom in. I should probably find a better setup, but those do wear down and have worn down, so that is something to note. It's not a super deal breaker, but that is something to worry about. However, the biggest problem with this shell design that I have noticed is actually the magnets, or whatever other way that this is held in, because obviously these go in to where the clicks are and kind of hold it into position, as well as the magnets back here. Over a period of time, since that is how you access the battery, continuously keep on doing this of continuously replacing the shell. It does wear it down quite a bit, and the shell doesn't hold as good as it used to when I first got the mouse. Is not a super big deal breaker though, where the shell is just going to go flying off while you're playing the game, but I can definitely feel movement if I put a little too much pressure on the back end here, where my palm rests. But it's not, like I said, not a super big deal breaker, but it is something that I have noticed with the shell. So I don't know if maybe within a year or so, maybe it won't be able to hold as well, and I would probably need a new shell or maybe just new magnets in order for it to hold properly. Overall though, this is a great mouse. I will say, be careful if you do get the white version. My white balance is fucking dog shit, so you can't really see that well. I guess you can right there. The top shell, heavily discolored compared to the rest of the mouse, but discolored. I have to clean that. But again, the only main issue, like I said, is the shell over time not being as secure, but it's not a super big problem right now. And again, $28 if you could catch it on sale, really great. But hopefully this is pretty helpful to any of you out there thinking about getting this mouse. Do I think it's still worth the price point at $70? Yeah, definitely still think it's $70. I think if you are going to get one, get a lithium battery though. One is provided with the mouse, but from there on out, I think you should only use lithium batteries with this mouse in order to not have to remove the shell as much to replace the battery, to help with like the longevity of the shell just staying more secure. If you could catch this mouse on sale at any point, like I said, right now $50 right before Prime Day, still pretty good deal. $28, the lowest it's ever been at one point. If you could catch on that day, you know, fuck it, might as well buy like 3 of them, get 2 of them customized. That'd be cool. But yeah, hopefully this video is somewhat informative on any problems, which is very minimal, and how it's held up over a 5 to 6 month period of time of daily usage. But yeah, hopefully this helps you with your next mouse purchase. If you are wondering what mouse I'm going to review next, I am not going to review the Viper Mini because it's pretty much the Viper Ultimate but smaller and with a wire. So I'm just going to skip it and jump over to this Superlight at some point. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll try to continue making this a series.